Standing with Israel and the Jewish people is not controversial, nor is it extreme, nor is it genocidal. It is basic human decency. It's saying, I will not stand by and watch the most persecuted people in history go through another Holocaust. It's standing vehemently against terrorism, the kind that plans, executes, and sickeningly derives immense joy from slaughtering innocents, men, women, children, the elderly, take your pick. The kind that burns children alive in bedrooms. I've stood in those rooms. I've watched the vision from the terrorists themselves. Standing with Israel and the Jewish people does not mean you don't care about children in Gaza, let alone that you support their suffering. In fact, it means the complete opposite. The same people killing Jews are responsible for every second of suffering in Gaza, every tiny bit. Now, that belief doesn't translate into Israel is perfect and has gotten everything right. Far from it. That would be impossible. No individual or nation has ever been perfect or has ever gotten everything right. But the war they fight is just, and the threat they face is real. And the eradication of it does more to help free children in Gaza from the hell they endure than any ill-informed march on Western streets calling for the destruction of a democratic nation that has never instigated a war, whose people just want to be left the hell alone, and who bear the brunt of a much bigger battle that threatens all of us and is already rearing its ugly head in countries far, far away from the Middle East. Again, let me be clear. If you care about babies in Gaza, and you should, then support the efforts to eliminate the terrorists who hand them a death sentence at birth. And mic drop, for those again at the back who need it a little bit louder, that ain't Israel or the Jews. It's the Islamic extremists who care only about destruction of everything we in the West hold dear, that those kids deserve. Life, peace, freedom. They kill their own kids, plus plenty of others. They are the enemy. The past 2 years has not been a revenge mission for the horrors of October 7 in Gaza. Had it been that, I'd be the first to call it out. So if every hostage had been returned on October 8 and every Hamas terrorist had surrendered and laid down their arms on October 8, and Israel had still gone in the way in which they had, that's a completely different story. But that was not the case. Hamas still exists, still can kill, still is killing their own people, as well as trying to kill Israelis and the Jews. They still have the bodies of hostages, and they had live ones up until very recently who were tortured, beaten, sexually assaulted in tunnels for 2 years more. Hamas also promised the second the first ceasefire deal was brokered to repeat the atrocities of October 7 the first chance they got. That's not a throwaway line. Let that sink in. They promised to do it the second they could again, while still in power, while still with weapons, while still with hostages. So the ongoing threat is real, and there is no way in hell any country, let alone any country in the West, would allow themselves to be sitting ducks again. War is ugly and horrific, and it should break the heart of every decent person. But if you give the instigators of it a free pass and you blame the victim, you will never save a life. You will be part of the reason many, many more die unnecessarily. So don't let the bullies deter you or convince you or make you doubt. And don't let them use you to run cover for the actual terrorists. Fight for every single child in the Middle East. We all should be. I do every single day. But sure as hell, make sure you know who their real enemy is, or you are contributing to their downfall. It's actually really simple. It's really simple. Don't fall victim to their BS. I learnt about the Holocaust in Year 4. Like most of us, I was traumatized by what I read and by what I saw. But the bit that stuck with me was those who stood by and did nothing. I could not fathom how normal people knew what was going on and didn't speak up, didn't try and stop it. Don't be the person in 100 years that people read about that did nothing. Be the person who was brave enough to stand up for a community that just wants peace. They are the victims of genocide. They are surrounded by Islamic extremist terrorists who want to destroy them, eradicate them entirely. They have the right, and not just the right, but the duty to protect themselves. Don't confuse it with anything else. And understand that by eradicating and eliminating organizations like Hamas, like Hezbollah, like the Houthis, like the Islamic regime in Iran, that is the greatest gift that will ever be given to every child born in the Middle East, including in Gaza. Anything else does not help.